Damn, shout out to Will from Colombia. What up, y'all? You know, we got a special guest today.
As I walk
you
back
like
in.
the setup, though?
What's up? Hello, everyone in chat. My name's Denis Kosiak. David, Kim, and I go back forever. Nice to meet y'all.
This is Denis. He's the man.
Ooh, first time from Bogota, Colombia.
Yeah, that's
Welcome.
crazy. The chat's hella diverse, bro. I swear. Well, sometimes we got people from Germany, Chile, France,
Wow.
UK, Korea, Colombia. So it's like it's been a nice Portugal.
Love that.
Yeah, it's been dope because
Welcome all.
you know how we're kind of recluse, right? As engineers,
Yeah.
we don't get out a lot. So, you know, for me, I kind of lose touch with like the homies and stuff.
Oh, man.
So
Denmark and Germany, everywhere.
bro. So this is my way of having friends.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is
I
the
feel
community, and we strong now. Like the same people join every single stream, and we're all homies now.
Good. Love that.
Hey, Josh.
Oh, Flores.
What up, Josh? Hey, we
in
need
here.
you. When you coming back to LA,
Yeah,
brother?
Come back on.
Norway. Damn, I want to go to Norway. Have you been?
Yeah. A couple times. It's awesome.
Really?
Yes. Honestly, I would live in Norway.
Damn.
Oslo is super poppin'.
That's my the top of my bucket list.
Yeah.
'Cause
if
I've
you get
been
the
to,
chance,
like,
go.
Norway. I've been to Switzerland. I've been in Interlaken.
Yeah.
Switzerland is
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Switzerland's dope.
But I really want to go to Norway.
Sweden's good too. I think the deal is that Swedish people and Norwegian people don't like each other because they think that they're better than one another. But it lives in Oslo. Yes, it is so
Hey.
sick there. I love it there. There's a really fire barbecue restaurant in Oslo. Like it's better than most barbecue in America, which is crazy.
Like barbecue?
Yeah, the dudes like they left Oslo and traveled all the South in America and did like all the different styles of barbecue and then figured out what they liked best and then did it back in Oslo. And there's like just one like super insane restaurant. Yeah.
Oh, what's that
wild.
like? So they got like what? They got like pollo asado and stuff.
This is a couple years ago. I just remember it being like literally all the staples of regular barbecue. That's amazing. Just ribs and pulled pork and all that stuff. But it was like amazing. Done right.
You want to get a little bit in frame?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yo. Hey, we got Swede here.
Nice. Love Sweden too.
Everyone
Been to Stockholm a couple times.
Get along, okay? Get along, y'all. Man,
Stockholm
Josh.
is awesome.
Hey, Josh. Josh, low key, I miss seeing you here, bro.
We all miss Josh.
We all miss Josh. Josh lights up the room, man.
Hell yeah.
Damn, we just don't fuck with the Swedes. Hey, y'all need to chill. But yeah, bro, me and Denis, we were here when we were both interns.
Yeah.
And you want to tell the story?
No, I'll let you tell the story.
Okay, so Denis was interning for a producer. His name is E-Man. He's done like a lot of Disney stuff, Selena, Demi, all that, the jazz. But he used to be out here in the back doing all of E-Man's admin shit.
Yeah, I was like just making this is a long time ago, or at least it feels like a long time ago. This was 2012.
Right.
So DocuSign wasn't really a thing. So I would have to like print out contracts all the time and have him sign like his production contracts and all that stuff. And like I'd be mailing contracts and going to get lunch from and picking up dry cleaning, all that sort of stuff. I was just kind of like doing whatever I could, honestly.
Yeah. When you got here, it was kind of a relief because then he stopped asking us to do
Right.
a lot of the shit.
Well, I was too young to work at a studio. I was only 18.
Right.
And so I couldn't work at a studio.
Officially.
Officially, they wanted people to be 21 so that they could buy alcohol and that they could do that late at night, so you actually had some value to them.
Right.
But when I was like 18, 19, 20, I think it was 19 and 20. I was working for him, and it was like barely a job, but that's what I was doing. And I was just like trying to learn stuff too. So.
And you were in the studio, and you got to meet us.
Yeah. A lot of cool people were here at that time, for sure. Like
Facts.
you, Todd, I met Flores here. I mean, obviously all the people that were like walking in and around the studio too. Super cool. Yep. And the people that E-Man was working with were good people.
Right. And it was cool because you had like prime location. Just have your door open. You never know who passes by.
Yep.
Like I bet you've seen some crazy.
Yeah, it was good vibes.
Artists. Yeah. Man, so what have you been working on lately?
Lately I've been finishing. My main client is Khalid, and been finishing his next album. Just finished this other girl, Alicia Creddy, who's like this really cool soul singer. Just finished her EP. That's kind of like all that I have right now. But I also like took all of December off to like not work and to just like unplug and
you're lucky, bro. I wish I could have done that.
I think everybody can do it, but like it's kind of like a discipline. It's a disciplinary thing. And also we just work so hard all year.
Yeah.
And you get called on weekends to do shit. You got to deliver stems on a Sunday. Like there's always something that you have to do. So then as soon as Thanksgiving happens, everybody kind of stops working anyway. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, well, if y'all aren't working, if y'all aren't going to like put my invoice through and pay me, then I'm not answering my phone for you guys.
Yeah. I was the opposite this year. Like I was working all throughout. Yeah. I barely celebrated Thanksgiving and Christmas. And like as a result, I think like my mental took a little hit. Cause like you're kind of used to resting during the holidays. Yeah. Every single year, and then you get adjusted to that. And then this year, I just didn't get that time to do it, and then I'm all out of whack.
Do you also feel like as an adult, when the holidays come around, it's almost like
it's not the same.
We got like it's not like you're about to open up a bunch of gifts. You're like, dude, I gotta like make sure like I take care of my family. I gotta I gotta pick somebody up from the airport. I gotta like do all this stuff.
I gotta prepare because like I'm married, so we got in-laws, and we usually have joint dinner. Yeah. And then so we usually host that. And that's me cooking and prepping and then
and then you're like stressed out about that, and you're like somebody's calling you about work. It's like it's not the same vibe.
Yeah, man. But it's just it's just 1 year. Yeah. Right? And I think this year I learned what I want to do. Is just put myself in situations where I don't have to like be stressed out. Yeah. And I've been learning that over the last like 5 years, saying no to stuff and, traveling. But when you travel for work, it's so different. Because like I love going to Korea, but going to Korea 3 times in 6 months, it's like.
It's a long flight too. Yeah. That's not like a quick 6-hour flight.
Yeah. And every time you come back, it's like the adjustment takes like a week. Yeah. Sometimes a little longer. That jet lag is no joke. Yeah. So I've been just like my mind is just fried.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too, honestly. Flying is like fucking brutal. That shit. Yeah. So I get it.
You guys going to Nam?
I'll go for a day. I
think I might do 2 days just because they're forcing me.
Yeah. They're forcing you.
They're forcing me. No, I'm gonna try to change it into just being there for Saturday, but for sure I'll be there Saturday, maybe Thursday. If you're there Thursday, I'll see you there.
I'll probably be there Thursday. I think that's the day I'm going.
Okay, cool.
We'll see.
Yeah. So what were you doing all December?
I was.
Were you out in your cabin?
No, I was, but I was working. I'm not even gonna lie, but it was different work. It was like catch up, like on K's album, like production stuff and like arranging stuff and doing all that, because we've been working for so long on his album. It's been like 3 years, I think. And so there's like hundreds of songs at this point. It's not like a short list. And so we're like in that process of whittling down and like finding like, okay, what's like the best of the best of the best. And then it's like, okay, well, push these songs, see how they turn out, you know what I mean? Like get producers to push their stuff. Me, I'm pushing my stuff, and like just kind of seeing where things end up. So there's a lot of like keeping track on like a spreadsheet. I mean, you know what it is when you work on an album, but this one's different because it's just over such a long course of time.
And you kind of forget that songs even exist. Huh?
Yeah, and you know, you don't really know if something's like it's hard to like pick if you're not like pushing the song, because like, you know what I mean? Like you can come out the studio and you write the song and like it's great, but then like there's so much work that goes into it. You gotta tune, you gotta work on the production, you gotta get roughs, you gotta like do this stuff. And with his thing, it's such like a big operation, you know. If you're not like pushing up and you're not like kind of catching up behind yourself, then you get kind of lost, and then all of a sudden it could be like a extreme hustle at like the last second, and they're just like, okay, our deadline's in like a month, so can you do everything in like 30 days? And it's like, fuck, no.
I feel like almost like no matter what you do, there's always the last minute rush. Like
in some capacity.
You can be prepared to the T, bro, and then, you know, the midnight, the what do they call it? The midnight hour, the last, when that last
11:59.
Yeah,
they're like,
oh,
we're
shit,
changing
we
something.
Do this. I'm swapping out my verse.
Yeah,
we're adding production. Yeah, when it's already mastered. Like,
you know, it's all coming. So that's why I'm like, if I can just be like as close as I can to ahead of that, that's best case scenario.
Facts, man, that's crazy. Do you think there's a lot of are there any songs that you guys made 3 years ago?
Yes.
That weren't the ones, but now they're like, oh shit.
Yes, and it's a couple because it was like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is really great, and we had nothing at the time.
Yeah.
So it was like they were cool songs, and then, you know, certain productions like got pushed while we were doing other stuff, and then like it came back and it was like, wait, what? We added this? You did this? And like now this is like a masterpiece. Like this is crazy type thing. Wow. So there's a couple of those for sure.
There's definitely songs that just need to marinate sometimes.
Yeah.
Like where you can't rush.
Yeah, I think there's certain artists that just take time with their project. Like if Frank Ocean did an album in like 2 weeks, it probably wouldn't hit the same, you know?
No.
Like he's just doing stuff that he feels.
It sound like that Cudi album that just dropped.
Oh.
Like
love Cudi. I actually haven't listened to it.
I love Cudi too. I love Cudi, but I turned on the album and like I think the first like 5 songs and I couldn't really get past them. I don't know why. Maybe it was my mood, maybe it was the vibe,
sure.
But I'm probably gonna give it another listen. But like that first listen, I was like,
It sounded rushed.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody that worked on the management side last night, and it sounded like they just worked through the holidays the whole time. And I was like, oh man, that must have been brutal. I don't know if that's the rush aspect or if it's just how things go, but like, sometimes when you hear that everybody's just like swamped through the holidays working on like one thing, you're like, okay, like, that's what it was. You know, it was a rush.
Facts. I think Manny mixed it, but it didn't sound like a Manny mixed album.
Sure. Hey, she may have been fucking doing stuff for the holidays too, you know, and then they were trying to push him to do stuff. And
Facts. And that goes to like, you know, how the song as a engineer is not gonna always sound the way you want it to.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, sometimes
the mix
you got
is never
it sounding fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And then you have to go way backtrack, and then like, cause you know sometimes the artists don't want super clarity. They might have the vibe in mind where it's like, I kind of want it all
souped up and like crazy. Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that I struggled because you didn't go the conventional route either. You didn't go under a mix engineer.
No.
You know, I didn't either. I was a recording engineer, and we just had to fucking
you end up doing mixes anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's like just kind of what you're doing, and like stuff ends up happening. Like it's just how it goes.
But along that way, it's like there's so many times that like my pride will have to take a shot because it's like, this is the best mix I've ever done, and then you submit it, and they're like, yeah, we want it like the reference. You're the like, reference is not the business.
Really?
Have you ever had that?
Yes, of course.
And then it's just like, oh damn. Okay.
It's like on your rough template where all you have is like the G comp and like an L2.
Yeah. And
then they're like, this is the one.
Like
you're
one.
All right, well.
All right, cool.
It's a total thing. Kyle Ross. What's
Kyle.
up?
What's up, brother?
Dude, want to hear the approach to vocals on Stay by Sinead. Wow. Deep cut. Dude, I wish I knew off the top of my head the approach to the vocals. But I will say that was handed in great. That was a song that was handed in to me already sounding really good. Who is that? Is it Stint or is it M Phases? It's one of the two. I think it's Stint. He's a really good R&B producer. He's sick. But he turned that song in sounding really good. Maybe it's M Phases. I don't know. It's one of the two. It's either Stint or M Phases.
They had this shit sounding great already.
Yeah, just there's certain things about, I mean, you know what it is. When you're mixing and you're doing stuff like polishing whatever, it comes out whatever. But then when stuff gets turned into you that's like, oh, they like paid attention and like they understand dynamics and transients and they understand music and they understand like how to record like pretty proper. Yeah. It's like,
you're just like,
dude, this is great.
This is a
great day in the office.
Paycheck, baby.
Yeah.
That's kind of how,
and it's mentally rewarding too.
That's kind of how the Caliucha stuff was for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when it got sent in, I was like,
okay, cool. Here I go.
Nice. And they're like, hey, we spent a lot of time on, getting it the way we want it to sound. So like, just shine it up. And I'm like, all right.
It's easy.
Okay, that's
y'all did your thing. Let me just help it out a little bit. Yeah, I feel you.
Dennis has a great podcast voice.
Thank you.
We need to get you in as a regular.
I wish I could hear, honestly. I do have a great voice. I can't sing though, unfortunately. Go-to vocal chain. I don't know. On my template, it's a Pro Q and a CLA 76 that I track with. Nothing crazy there.
That's what I tell people too. When I track, I'm like Pro Q and look at this.
Yeah, RBox. That's all. I mean, when you're tracking, it's all it really needs to be. Yeah. And like when you get into mixing, like obviously you can load it up with a bunch of stuff, but it's like something that's really gotten to me later as an adult engineer dude is like really gotta pay attention to EQ. If you are doing like more than 2 EQs, your phase is like going crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
And especially if you're bussing a lot of stuff together, it can get pretty wild, pretty crazy.
Facts.
So simpler the better, but also, dude, I don't know. Some people do great mixes with hella plugins, and that's awesome too.
That's true. There's sometimes like I'll get a session that has like that's loaded 10 plugins on the chain.
Yeah.
And then I'll copy the aux and then try to start from scratch, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's no way. There's no way I'm getting that.
It's too sauced. Yeah.
It's way too sauced. And it's usually like the heavy rap stuff, like the melodic rap stuff.
For sure. Yeah.
Man, some shit would have like 2 L2s on it.
And like a harmonizer,
doubler.
Yeah.
Compressing like 30 dB.
I know, but that's almost like at that point you just have to like commit it and then you just start from there.
Facts.
And then you're like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. So I like getting all my shit wet now.
Yeah, same.
Because I've spent too many hours trying to emulate something that someone's done, but like their knowledge and my knowledge is so far. There's so many different paths they took. So how the hell am I gonna get the same sound that they have? So like nowadays, it's like, yo, I'm not challenging my prod with that shit.
Yeah. Well,
it's
also
like, send it to me dry, send it to me wet.
That was like an old like. Chris Lord Algae would like say that though. Like some of those old dudes would be like, don't give me your thing that's like halfway mixed. I'm not like going halfway. Like if you're coming to me to mix a record, I'm going to mix the shit out of it. It's like, okay, like, there's some confidence there for sure. But then there's also like nowadays it's not like, dry stuff that's just like recorded in Pro Tools that you like track through a console and it's like all like completely dry and like the rough didn't sound like anything, It's like now we're working on stuff that they record it in the studio that day, they listen to it on their phone that day, and then they fall in love with it, and that's why they're like, we should get it mixed.
Yeah.
you have to kind of start there.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. Instead of like we have to get this song mixed because we have to submit a song.
Yeah, no.
It's like no, this song stands out from the others.
Yeah, we're already
because of the sauce that's applied to it.
Yeah, exactly. So shout out all the engineers that are doing something in the studio.
Facts.
At least getting it somewhere.
Shout out to a good recording engineer in 2024.
Yeah.
Because they make our job like so much easier. And like a recording engineer that knows how to vocal produce, you know, that takes their time and comps their shit, like
stays organized.
Bro, it goes miles. What's
up, Samuel?
What up, Sam?
Kyle, mic selection. Rant about why one mic won't work well for some people but sound great on someone else. Chipsy, tell them just because you have Tiger's Club doesn't mean you'll play like Tiger.
Yeah, matter of fact, you probably play worse if you have Tiger's clubs. Yeah, so if you have a singer who has a really sibilant voice, or like really shrill highs, and then you put them on a C800, that shit is not gonna work.
No,
it can be the best mic in the world. You have someone with super mud in their voice and put them on a Telefunken 251. That shit's gonna wash out.
I feel like I was very privileged to travel a lot of the world with Khalid, and we would record everywhere, like in dressing rooms and in hotels and like, all sorts of different places. And I took the same mic everywhere. That sounded great on him, but it still didn't matter because it'd be like one day he would sound like shit, maybe, drank the night before, so his voice is all over the place, or like the AC was on too much, or where we're recording, like the ceiling isn't high enough, or the humidity's just different. Like there's so many factors that play into it.
Damn, so you got the whole spectrum.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna take the same singer and the same microphone that I know sounds good because we made a lot of hits on this microphone. Now let's just take it and move it places, and then you realize, oh my God, everything matters. Like literally every factor matters, and it's so hard to calculate. So you just kind of have to be like, all right, well, if we get magic today, then like that's it. And you can't really force it. It just kind of has to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you felt it. Like you'll be like tracking in a room with an artist and you're like, yo, this is fucking sick. This is awesome. I'm feeling this today.
Yeah.
That's all you can really hope for.
And dude, another thing to add to that is like, whatever beat you're recording on, whatever music you're recording on, that can completely alter the way your shit sounds too. Because it's like, how come this rough isn't sounding like the other roughs? Like, the content of the song just might be different. Hey, I'm curious about your role. You started as his recording engineer, correct? And now you arrange, you produce, co-produce.
Yeah, I've done pretty much, it feels like everything at this point, which is really interesting. But also, like, it helps you grow into doing other things for other artists. And, like, I mean, you know what it is. If you were like, okay, I'm going to go into this industry and I'm just going to record, that I'm just like, I'm focused on this. This is what I'm doing right now. Like, it's cool to be focused, but it's also like, okay, cool. Something like COVID happens, and then all of a sudden all the studios are closed, and then you're not recording anyone. So, like, what are you going to do?
You got to have multiple tools.
Yeah. And so that was kind of my theory going into things, was I was like, I'm down to do whatever, just if I get the chance, like, I'll do it. We'll see.
Did you have production in mind? Like, when you started as a recording engineer, did you know that one day you transition into production, or did you have any desires towards that direction?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was working for E-Man here, and after I was done working with him, I worked for another dude, Busby, for a little while, and like I always kind of was doing that stuff, but it had never been like, okay, like full ego trip, I like know that I'm a producer and I'm gonna like go and be like this guy. Like, it's kind of not who I am.
Yeah.
And I like was way more interested in the recording stuff, and I don't think I'm a good enough musician in terms of like I can't play like crazy to be like, oh my God, I'm gonna write like 50 songs a day and just like go crazy. So there's just parts that have like been interested to like be involved in and like do stuff and like get involved, but not necessarily be like, all right, I'm putting all my chips into like production, or like, all right, I'm putting all my chips into recording, or like
mixing,
doing all this stuff. Yeah, it's like, and also it drives me nuts doing the same thing like 3 days in a row.
Facts.
I have to like do something different every day, or else I'm like, I'm a machine. I can't, you know.
I can relate to that because, you know, that's why last year I transitioned slowly into production. I learned to DJ because it's like using
I saw you
same,
recently DJ.
Yeah,
Going on.
It's fun, bro. It's really fun because like the feeling you get when you're up there and you're like, I have control
of the vibes,
of whatever you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like for the next hour,
yes,
your soul is mine. And
yes,
like,
it's fire.
It's just fire.
Yeah.
Like you can make people so happy just by pushing a button.
Yeah, it's lit.
know, playing their jam and I was feeling kind of the same thing where I was like, man, sometimes I'll come in here and I'll have to mix like 3-4 songs.
You just gotta lock in.
I'm just like, bruh, like a week goes by, I'm still doing the same thing, and I'm like, bro, I need something else.
Yeah.
Right. I need something else to use the same bank of knowledge I have, but
in a different way.
In a different way.
For sure.
And like you said, it helps you, you know, expand your business,
which
is you. Like if God forbid COVID happens again, you can live stream,
sidestep.
You can do it. Yeah, sidestep.
Just something.
Yeah. That's cool as hell, man. Like I see a lot of similarities because like I started as a recording engineer for Hit, you know,
amongst others,
of course, a lot of other people. But when I left to go work with Hit exclusively, it was just to be like organizer of files, and then if he had someone come in, I record them.
Yeah.
Right. And then that transitioned into, hey, I want to, you know, mix for you. And in the beginning, he was just like, he would let me try, and then he would hire someone else.
Sure.
And I knew exactly what that meant.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not there yet. But like over time, I gained his trust, and now it's like I have
built up something.
Yeah. Now I have co-production on stuff with Nas, and like we're in there writing together.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking dope.
That's
like,
how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
And people who are telling you that you can't do something, or people who are like, oh yeah, you're just the guy who records, they're like, okay, David, like, thanks, but like we're gonna go with people who actually do this. Fuck those people, dude. I'm sorry. Like anybody who's like compartmentalizing you, or like putting you in a box, or like putting you somewhere, you have to run away from them.
Facts.
Because they're not helping themselves. Probably they're probably putting themselves in a box, and then when you're trying to help them, they're putting you in a box, and it's like, bro, this isn't healthy. You have to build with people.
And it's and they for you to be in a situation where they put a fucking concrete ceiling on you.
Nah, fuck that.
It's like, bro, what's the
no.
point? You know?
There's so many weird people who do so many different things.
Yeah.
And like, it's encouraging to see people do weird different things.
Yeah.
Like Benny Blanco was like a goated producer for like a minute, like songwriter producer dude, and then now he's like doing cooking stuff. But he's also
ASMR and shit.
But he's also done so many things, and like I feel like people are receptive to him doing it because he's had a level of success that's like measurable, where they're like, yo, he's got hits and he can do whatever he wants. So like people allow that, versus with not as successful people, or people who are not as mainstream, it's looked almost like kind of down upon.
Like they're jumping from thing to thing, trying to hit a lick.
Well, it's also like, it's relative, you know? So you don't want to be somebody who has like, oh my God, I have 13 things going on and like 10 side hustles, and I'm stretched so thin that I can't actually get anything done because I can't focus.
Right.
But like, there's nothing wrong with like, yo, I have excelled in something, and I felt like I hit the top, and now I'm going to move to another thing and excel in that, try to hit a top.
Like Michael Jordan with baseball.
Yeah. Or like when you start working at a studio and you're like, all right, I'm going to be a sick runner. And then you're like, all right, I'm done being a runner now. It's time to go be an assistant engineer. And then you feel all this pressure being an assistant engineer, making sure that the mic's all set up perfectly. And then like by the time that you've done it for like a year, you're like, bro,
I'm over this shit. Yeah.
Time to do something next.
It's like,
you know?
it's crazy. Like you're dying to be in the room, and then
Straight
you're
up.
in the room, and then you're like,
You're like on the other side of glass. You're like,
yeah, it's like don't say nothing, don't say anything, just sit there until you're called upon, and you're just like, I don't want to be here no more.
All right, sick.
Yeah.
I'll do anything. I'll literally shine this apple to make it look more presentable.
Facts. Like, how do I get in that chair though?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you do, and then you're in that chair for a while, and you're like, oh yeah, I don't want to be here either.
Yeah.
Time for the next thing. That's how it goes.
Crazy, man.
It's literally everybody. I feel like that's almost all my homies in the industry. You know, we've all gone through that.
Yeah.
In some capacity.
At least the ones that are growing.
Yes.
Because I know people that have been a recording engineer for 20 years.
That's not me.
Bro, and I'm like, yo.
Yeah, it's not.
How?
No shade to recording, but it's
no.
like that's what I was doing when I was young.
In fact,
You
right.
know? Yeah.
We use that as a stepping stone. That was never our destination.
Yeah, for sure.
But, I mean, power to them, bro. All power to them.
For bothering us. You're not bothering us.
It's all promotion.
Oh, now you're bothering us.
Now you're bothering us. But Josh tapping in is, he's a perfect example.
Yeah, Josh has the same vibe. Do different
I guess you just got to surround yourself with people like that, where it's like they worked hard to get to where they are, but they're not satisfied with what they're doing.
Yeah. For sure.
And not saying that they're not grateful, but because I try to practice gratitude, but then there's also, hey, what's next?
For sure.
Yeah
man.
How would you say you're pretty even keel mentally these days? Are you satisfied? Are you happy?
Yeah, but also no.
Mm-hmm.
Like my biggest influence right now is David Goggins. You know who David Goggins is?
Of course.
It's so
Navy
dumb.
SEAL David Goggins.
But like it's ridiculous, and David Goggins is insane, but he's also not. He did like a Crazy Huberman podcast recently where he's like, I'm aware that people call me like insane and all this stuff, but like he's been so far gone with like nobody can like motivate me, like nobody can like tell me what to do, like it's all just like me trying to be better for myself. Like nothing's ever gonna like make me want to be better other than myself. And knowing that I used to hate myself, or like I had a period of time where I was like really displeased with myself, now I'm just like chasing, or I'm like running away from that person for forever. So I thought that was interesting. Like I'd say I'm like content and I'm happy with like where I'm at, but also like I'm trying to do different stuff. Like I'm on like a crazy health journey. I lost like 25 pounds in the last 6 months.
Yeah, I see that. And you're working out a lot, right?
Yeah, I was at the gym this morning. Just, trying to stay consistent and like do something. I suck at sports. That's why I'm even in music. Like I suck at all things physical activity, my whole life. I was never good at any sport. I tried them all. Yeah. And I was never really good at that. So I'm taking for the first time in my life, like, okay, I'm going to like, even though I might not be doing sports in a way where I'm like trying to like win.
Yeah.
I can at least be like on my physical game where I'm like, all right, I know I can like be strong, and I know that I can like eat healthy,
right,
and I can sleep good, and like all these things. And then you see how it like maximizes your day, where you're like, damn, like I slept 8 to 10 hours and I ate really good and I worked out. And so like now the time that I'm awake, I feel like I'm at 100% the whole time. Shit. I'm not tired,
I needed to hear this because like, I don't know if you know, but like 2 years ago, I went on this like crazy workout diet thing where like I was getting, I had a personal trainer for like 2 months, and I wanted to push myself for 2 months as hard as I could. So we were doing 3-a-day workouts.
Whew, 3 a day?
Yeah. And I was on no salt, no sauce, controlled carbs for 2 months.
Like slow carbs, yeah.
But it was literally like 99% lean ground turkey with a cup of rice and veggies every single day, or like tilapia or
something that's like
but it was like it was pretty much torture.
Yeah.
But in those 2 months, I lost like 30 pounds.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's so much for 2 months.
Yeah, no, we went crazy.
Oh my
we
God.
went absolutely bonkers. I didn't have salt
Yeah.
for 2 months.
I would have freaked
or
out.
Sugar.
I would have freaked
No
out.
snacks.
I would have freaked
no
out.
Nothing. So it was like for a snack, it was like a handful of nuts.
Yeah, almonds.
You know,
and
I
water.
can't eat almonds anymore too. But it was insane. And you know me, I played sports my whole life.
You're gifted then because well, I mean, you probably had some success with them. I sucked at all sports. Like,
yeah,
I was
going D1 with football, but I broke my back.
Bro.
But this is the thing I want to say is like sports kind of the way that the society pushes sports is in a fucked up way because it's all about the competition. It's not health, right?
Yeah.
So, as you were saying, I was never good at sports. You're not supposed to be all good at sports, you know? It's supposed to be a lifestyle thing.
Yeah.
And like so many kids give up sports because they can't get the trophy or they can't. And then,
which
for
makes sense. Which makes sense.
Right.
That's part of it as well.
Exactly. But it's like that's so unhealthy because you should exercise because it makes you feel good. And and it's healthy, not because they're gonna give you a trophy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I went like I spiraled down the other way where it's like, man, I'm so sick of this shit that like I didn't want to work out anymore. Like, I was like, man, after I did that 2-month thing, I got to like my target and I was maxed out, but I was like, yo, the way that I did it, I don't think it was healthy.
Right.
Even if my body's healthy, the mind wasn't healthy.
You're just like, I gotta win at all costs.
Yeah,
I'll sacrifice whatever.
And then from there on, I'm like, okay, I took a step back and I haven't really been working out and exercising, but I'm trying to get back on it. And I think today, like this is what I needed.
Dennis Goggins in the building.
For sure. Because I love David Goggins too because like he embodies the mentality that I want to have. Right. And it's the mentality I had for a short period of time in my life where it was like, fucking push through it. You know what I mean? Like you can do whatever you want to do. Like you can find anomalies that have succeeded in any fucking situation. You know, you got guys with no legs running marathons. Like
I've seen it all. You know, at this
what
point,
I'm saying? Like there's no reason for us not to succeed. And I think I need to get back to that mindset. And today was like a great reminder.
He's nuts.
Yeah.
But in a good way. In a way where, and in that Huberman podcast, if you listen, I don't know if you've ever listened to the Huberman thing, but it's like, it's deep in there. It's like an hour and 25 minutes in there. And he just starts being like a self-aware of like, I know that people call me like crazy and like, oh, it's not good to like push yourself that much or like, oh, it's not good to do this or whatever. And he's like, bro, I'm not telling everybody that they have to do what I do exactly. I'm not like their motivation. I'm trying to tell them the version of me that I am not trying to be is with me the moment I wake up and I'm just like, damn, I want to sit in my bed and like eat chips and just like lay here.
Yeah.
And he's like, but there's something in me that like I have to get up and like fist fight that part of me every day. And I have to like go crazy and like I have like, because the level of me that wants to chill and do that, because he was like super overweight. He was like, I was like 350 pounds, like chilling in my house, like a low life, like not doing anything. He's like, that version of me is still a part of me. And that's why I have to wake up and like fist fight every day. So I have to go and like, I have to battle that.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, that's what he goes through mentally every day.
And it's like the actual battling. Sometimes it's the fight that is the success, right? Yeah. Sometimes it's getting your ass up and going to the gym. Even if you don't go 100% at the gym, like the act of you going there. Yeah.
Just staying disciplined.
Battle. Yeah. The discipline is, for me, sometimes like I won't have a lot of work, but I'll still come to the studio because
just like lock in. Work on something.
Facts.
Rewire or
organize
clean
something. Yeah. And a lot of times that's where like some good ideas, creative ideas come out. Where I'm not constrained to a structure that day where I have to mix this, and I'll just be sitting here and then going through loops, and I'm like, oh, this is about to be crazy, and then I have the liberty to cook up that day. Yeah, you know, and then those are the times that tell me like it's not that I can't do it. It's just that I don't allow myself to have the opportunity to do certain things, and I have control of that.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, man, there's nothing we can't do. It's just we choose not to do it, or we don't allocate time or prioritize.
Yeah.
What
And
we
Goggins
wanna
is
do.
always like, yo, all the people that be like hating on me and tell me that I'm crazy and tell me that I'm like, I'm too much or like that I go too hard and it's not healthy or whatever. He's like, those are just all the lazy motherfuckers that are just fucking hating online all day. All the people who are out here like getting busy and like being dope, like they're not saying shit because they're doing it too.
Because they know, yeah.
And I was like, okay.
For them, it's affirmation. For the people that aren't doing it, it's an attack.
Right. And
to
he's
their
like,
character.
he's like, whatever. He's like, bro, look at how much I've accomplished. Like, I don't need y'all to tell me what to do. I got it figured out. I'm good. It's like, oh my God.
I heard one writer say, if I wrote when I feel like writing, I would never write a word.
That's very true.
Yeah.
You have to, I mean, that was a big part of this Khalid album, which I figured out. Like, he was so expected to just keep like, you know, he was coming off a really hot year or 2 years, I guess, 3 years, whatever it was. And it was like his day, every day was just like, okay, press in the morning and then meet and greet in the afternoon and then show at night. And it was like that for like years. And he was like, bro, what do I have to like write about right now? I got to like take off like, if I want to write stuff that these people want to listen to, I have to like
experience.
I have to have something to write about. So it makes so much sense.
Yeah, that's the thing I think people forget about. It's like, yo, these artists when they're living a lifestyle that is not comprehensible to the average person or the average listener, then the music is gonna sound that way too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that's what happens. Where especially with rap, bro, because we love the hunger.
The easiest
rap.
Example.
We love hunger rap. We
right.
love when you're broke rap. But when you're rich, those
like,
are
what
not
are we even
things
talking
that
about?
we can relate to.
What
anymore.
are you sad about, bro? Being rich?
Just
oh, I'm sorry.
I remember when I was 180 for someone that's 5'3", hating myself so much. Lost all that weight now.
I call myself a fat fucking
damn, bro.
That's real though, because you have to be honest. If that's how you felt,
yeah,
real shit.
Well, congrats, swimming.
Dude, that's the hardest thing. That's what Goggins talks about. Is like, he's like, dude, you gotta be like so real with yourself. And if you're looking in the mirror, you're like, this is not what I want to be, then you gotta put in the work. Be what you do want to be.
Yeah. No one's coming to save you either.
Yeah, no.
Every day I have to like come to terms with that, you know, because like, you know, when you're younger, you have either your parents or a parent or someone, sibling, like
it's gonna push you,
got your back,
and
will always motivate you. But these days, it's like I feel like a lot of people wake up in doubt, right?
For
like
sure.
You might wake up and the first thing in your mind is like, you know, I'm thankful for waking up, but then immediately you start going into my problems, right?
Oh damn, I have bills to pay and like I'm not ready for this.
Or the things that you don't enjoy about yourself, and then you have the choice for the rest of the day to either fix it, not fix, but to work on yourself or to ignore yourself. And the further you go this way, the further you get from this.
Straight up.
Damn.
Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah. Embracing mistakes too. Some of the coolest things have happened on records that stemmed from mistakes. Importing a beat on accident or at the wrong sample rate. Yeah, facts.
Shout out Kyle.
Big facts.
Dropping some gems in here.
There's times where like I'll be in there with Hit Boy, and I'm sweeping on the Pro Q3, right?
And he's like, whoa.
He's like, yo, that's hard. And now like I have to remember what I just did. Put a bandpass filter.
Touch.
Yeah.
Just do it real quick.
Do it real quick.
Whoa, sick.
And he's like, yeah, that's hard. I'm like, okay, dope. That happens a lot actually.
That's your job. You just gotta start twisting knobs and doing weird shit.
Mm-hmm. Until something hits.
That's it. I don't know what you're doing, but nice.
Yeah. That's because he don't talk a lot. Like Hit doesn't really talk a lot.
Yeah.
But you'll hear him in the back. That's hard.
Did you call me back in the day to do a session with him? I did one session with him at his house in Sherman Oaks.
I think so.
and you were like, yo, can you do it, please?
Yeah.
And I remember that, and I was like, I was still pretty young, too. I was like 22, 23.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was him and YG. Yeah.
I know when that was. That was when I was between Chalice,
Yeah.
Hit Boy, and DJ Khalid.
Right.
So I was still full-time at Chalice, so they have my priority. I'm on call here. So I had that session with Hit Boy. Last minute, I got called in to come to Chalice.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
Yeah.
I don't know who else to call, but
yes,
came through.
That was the last Hit Boy experience of mine, the only. But it was awesome. It was crazy. Definitely not my typical environment. Like YG, hard as fuck rapper, and then me being like, all right, what are we doing? So funny. But I remember that session a lot. Approach to Broadway Girls did a great job at making two genres sound one. Very good. Thanks, bro. What I did on that record is meaningful, but is not. That was kind of an interesting way that one came around. All that I really did on that was work on Morgan's vocal, which he had recorded very poorly. And it was like on an SM7 like this in like a big, I don't know, like some big non-studio room and recorded on an Apollo. And the producer, Charlie Handsome, sent it to me and was like, yo, we're trying to get something together for Dirk. We have this idea. Can you like make it sound good? And of course I'm like, yeah, whatever. And sent it to me and I'm like, okay, this is insane. But, if you know what you're doing, you can make some stuff sound pretty good. So not only Melodyne and like edited in a way where the vocal was like very on time and like his performance was like very locked in on the track now. And also it was like one of those things where it was a Logic session and he just had the cycle on and it was just recorded like 20 takes.
Damn, so you had to comp.
So I just like opened it up and I'm like, bro, what are we using? And he's like, I don't know. Just figure it out. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'll pick. And like, you make some doubles from it. You make some stacks, whatever. You just kind of like unpack it and work something out. And then made a chorus essentially from that and then sent it back with like the beat having been stemmed out and got like a decent rough on it. And then Dirk ended up picking it for his album. And then it just kind of like was out of my hands at that point. But it like Charlie's my really good friend. So we've done a lot of those situations where it'll be like, all right, I was wasted last night. I worked on something and I have no idea what I'm doing. Can you just like figure it out? I'm like, yeah, gotcha, bro.
That's a crazy story.
Yo, girls in Tennessee absolutely love that song. If you go out in Nashville on Broadway, bitches be dancing to that song. You gotta play that. For sure.
How would you explain what a mix engineer does in a short sentence? We receive a dirt road and we lay down asphalt. That's what? That's a super interesting way of putting it. That's a super
short sentence.
Sentence. We make your shit sound good.
I think that's the best way to say it.
Yeah. We
make your shit sound
balanced.
Better.
Better.
Maybe not good, but better.
Better. Sometimes it still doesn't sound good.
How's your relationship with John influenced you with creating your mixing style and moving forward in your career?
Castelli.
Shout out Castelli. I love John. I've known John for almost as long as I've known David, honestly. He was working on records with my neighbor that I was helping. It's such a long circle of things. But when I was living at the apartment that I lived in while I was working here as an intern, seeing David all the time.
Was that the one on Santa Monica?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Did you go there?
One time.
Why?
I was either picking something up or dropping something or just like stopping by.
Oh, okay.
To see the spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was living there and my neighbor was like a signed producer and writer. And so I was like, I was tuning vocals for him. I was tuning Kim Petras for him. He had discovered Kim Petras and she was like sleeping on his couch. And I was tuning her demos all the time, like for $100 because I was making no money. So I was like, I'll tune a whole vocal production thing, I'll work on it for like $100 just so I could like
Damn.
get food for the week and shit. And I would just like stay doing that with him, and that's how I got good at it. And then John mixed a lot of those and co-produced a lot of those initial Kim records, and he was also working on other stuff with my neighbor. And so I would go to his studio, met him, and learned a lot from him, but also got to like smoke weed with him and like Tony Maserati and like hang out with that crew and that sort of thing. So that was like obviously a good crew and good people to be around.
Yeah.
And then a lot of time went by. There was like a blow up with that friend group, and then a lot of time went by, and then we linked kind of after I started working with Khalid, and then he was like, yo, you want to work on it together? And I was like, yeah. Or I was like, yo, we should work on this together. And he was like, yeah, for sure. And we had like a good run of, you know, when I was really busy being like in the studio until 3 a.m. every night, I knew that I could like leave wherever we were, and we could like meet somewhere where I knew that things were going to sound a certain way. And we had a control environment. We had gear that we knew what we were doing with. And it wasn't like all over the place. And I wasn't like, you know what I mean? It just felt like he helped really hone in the idea of like having a consistent spot. And like being able to not only be fried and like lean on someone to work with, but like also provided great insight of like new stuff. And like, you know, he's more experienced than me for sure, or was at the time. So it was, you know, good to like be with that homie and like experience a lot of that stuff. I'm very thankful for John. And also moving forward in my career, I mean, dude, he has a lot of great knowledge about, I mean, his style is all like saturation and clipping. That's like his thing. So if you don't know a lot about saturation and clipping, listen to some of his shit, because that's his style.
And that's hot right now.
Live with Matt Rad is made me aware of what a genius John is. Oh yeah, he's like savant level with audio stuff. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's a true genius. He's a whiz. Some of us just do this shit to do it. Like
John's about it for real.
He's about it.
He has great stories too, a great upbringing, a great you know, intro to the industry and how he got started and all that stuff. He's all good vibes.
Name an artist where you're blown away by the knowledge, thought, and mixing wise.
Oh, like somebody who like tracks himself or something like that?
For me, I think like Ariana.
I've seen that lately.
Yeah.
She's doing her thing.
Ariana, I remember I tracked her one time. And then we did, she's very organized. She'll do like 8 comps of everything. I forget what the number was, but like every single line she'll do a number of comps. And then she came out, and then we tried, I was comping it. But she was like, hey, do you mind if I just comp it? And I'm like, yeah, dude. Like,
go ahead.
Go
Let's
ahead.
work
And
for me.
she's just like, okay. And I was like, oh, shit. God damn.
That's
like,
fine.
Yeah. It was very impressive.
Okay, Ariana Grande literally pop goat. No big deal. So basically one of the best pop artists is comping their own vocals.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's awesome. It's badass. I don't know if I've worked with too many that really get hands-on-y like that. I mean, Hit does get hands-on. He knows his stuff, at least with beats and stuff like that. So it's dope to see that.
He's definitely hands-on.
I'm trying to think of other. Man, I've never seen Kanye West work, but I feel like he definitely would be fucking up some Pro Tools shit.
For sure. Man. Yeah. Oh, Travis knows what the fuck he's doing too.
Yeah.
Like he has he knows, he's at a point where he knows like what effects sound like what. So he'll be like, hey, bring up the doubler, put it on -6, -7,
Okay.
You know, Thug kind of knows. But I always wondered that, like, if you're an artist, right, and you're very specific about your sound, wouldn't it be wise to invest a little time to learn your shit?
Yeah,
right?
You'd think, but also I get why a lot of them don't do that, because
they got other stuff to
well,
worry
yeah,
about.
when you're like in the zone about like trying to perform the thing, you don't want to think about like, oh fuck, how do I? What's the button to record? I gotta save. Oh, I crashed. Like fuck.
It takes a special type of person to be able to like switch on and off.
Yeah.
But you have like people like that, like a Pharrell.
Yeah, he's in there.
He's
sure.
in there.
Yeah, certain people. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head though that I've worked with at least. There definitely are, but I just don't know.
Hit would record himself.
Yeah.
And he'll come in. He's like, "Oh, I recut this whole verse." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." All
That's work for me.
up, like, works for me. What do you guys think about mastering and the importance of it? Man?
What even is mastering? That's a better question. I'm just kidding. I mean, mastering's essential. It's just funny because like I'm only saying that because everybody just kind of makes a joke about mastering at the end of the day, just as much as mixing or recording. You know, it's all goofy.
Right.
It's all.
It's like no one knows what it does.
It's just like whatever, dude. Just like, is it better or not? And if it is, then great, I love it. If it's worse,
facts.
Fuck, I hate it.
Yeah, I've gotten. I don't know. It's weird how we were talking about just cranking stuff out. I've gotten a lot less picky with my mastering. Like I'll get my shit to, like my mixes to sound how I want to.
Who do you mainly use, by the way?
Mike Bozzi.
Oh, okay, sick.
Yeah. And Mike, he's really good at transparency.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the only thing is like Mike won't get your shit like he's not going -5, -6.
No.
Right.
That's not his thing.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Right. There's other people for that.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's like I like working with people that I enjoy being around.
Good.
You know, sometimes I'd rather use someone that is not as good,
but you have a relationship.
But I have a relationship.
Yeah.
With. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel.
Just the opportunity to come in like and chill, rather than being like sending it to somebody and then having their assistant fucking send it back and things like that.
No.
I like relationships, man. Because a song, like, how long does a song really these days? How long is a song living? Yeah. Right. And I think this question is a little bit different from me and you, because like Khalid, his shit ages very, very well. Like I'm still listening to Better and everything from his.
Yeah, he's got
stuff,
good songs,
right?
For sure.
And like I'm doing a lot of rap shit where like, okay, one summer,
yeah,
maybe 1 year, and then that shit is gone. So
yeah, also I don't know. It changes. It definitely changes.
Yeah. You want to get into this Melodyne?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
That's what I came here for. So I guess background on me in vocal production and Melodyne. So yeah, when I was working here, I worked for a producer who was like, he was super dominant in that. That was his like strongest suit, was going in with like Disney artists or like younger new artists, and he would like break them. He was really prominent in like the Selena Gomez era. Who else? Demi, all sorts of stuff. So and he was like a American Idol like producer. So like if people are popping off on American Idol, he would like work on their stuff with them, like Jordan Sparks or whoever, you know.
Yeah.
And so he was very versed in like taking somebody new who probably had a great voice, but like needed the vocal production or like needed a lot of sauce to like get from, okay, you have a good voice, to like, how do we get a song that's like the performance is like dope and incredible. So he was really good at that. And I learned a lot about when you're cutting an artist, like what you're going for when you're cutting an artist. And also once you have what you cut with them, like how are you supposed to get it from just the raw material to like, okay, now it's like, it's done. It's edited, it's comped, it's tuned.
Yeah.
You know, like it's good. And then I took that information that I kind of learned with him and then expanded upon it by obviously like getting into engineering and recording people myself, and then helping out my neighbor with the artist that he was working on, working for Busby for a little while, and then he worked on country, so I was doing a lot of country stuff at one point. And like I just felt like I was working on all sorts of stuff. So with like the Melodyne and vocal production stuff, it was like I was doing it all the time and consistently, so it was just like the one thing that I was like really good at, and I had to do it to feed myself at one point. So that just kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm down to jump in. So I guess what we're doing today is we're gonna do a little kind of like, hey, this is what I would do, or like kind of where I would start with an approach.
I'm gonna throw this up here actually.
And like a method.
Methodology.
I don't even know.
Is that
I'm
right?
making up words right now. Yeah, just like kind of starting something off and coming up with a theory. I did this for Goodwin did like a little summer camp like a year ago, and he had like 25 or like 30 dudes, men and women, that were like trying to learn stuff, and I had like a big like PowerPoint and all this stuff on this.
On Melodyne.
And like, but another thing that's really cool about when you know like high level vocal production stuff is you can like save songs. Like that song Broadway Girls, that is an example of me like saving a song where it's like
it wouldn't have been.
It might not have happened. You know what I mean? And so it's like, hey, we have this song. We don't really like. We have these vocals. We don't really know what to do with it. And then I'm able to like salvage it and make it like really good, and then it ends up landing per se. So that's happened on a few occasions, but you know, it'll probably keep happening.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that does happen. Like they'll record something and be like, oh, this is like such a good idea, but it's like, you know, it's not really there. And then with your editing skills, you can go in and you make it kind of flawless, and everybody's like, damn, this is really good now.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's what happens sometimes with, I mean, arrangement's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Where like they'll bring in a beat in the song, and then when they leave and they're like, dude, this is not what I expected when I came in here. That's kind of what makes me smile. Like that's like satisfaction for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
More than, and this might sound crazy, but like more than hearing a mixed feedback where it's like, oh, this mix is amazing. I like people coming in and me just fucking it up, like dissecting the
chopping shit, making transitions, and crazy,
and then them being like, yo, this is not the same song I came in with.
Yeah.
You know? I love hearing that.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And it takes somebody who knows what they're doing to like make that happen.
Facts.
So, all right. Well, anyway, where we were here is okay. So this is for David's project.
So this is a song on my album. I feel like I'm giving my chat like way too many previews, because last week I gave him like a preview of a song I'm dropping on there too. But this is gonna be the outro of my album, and then we'll just go through the first verse and pre maybe.
I don't know how your name is stuff.
You forget I'm DK too.
Ah.
But I don't put my initials on it, so it's all perfect.
All right. Well, as you can see, I started off with save as everyone should. So I'm about to duplicate playlists here. I think I just did. Yeah. And then we're also gonna do something that I always do is
you can get in here, bro.
This is my computer now.
Yeah. I'm just here for the vibes, guys.
Make playlists of the versions that you're working with. So, for example, on here, this can be like our, you know, what we're working with. But if you go here, you do a new playlist. You can go through, rename like auto-tune for each one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's the auto-tune one.
So then
you don't use a batch rename.
Oh, bro, I'm not set up like this yet.
Yeah.
Wait, can you show me a batch rename?
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
So look, check this out.
Do you have it on SoundFlow, or how are you doing this?
No, it's here. I mean, I just go to it where like if I wanted to add AT to the back, like you go here and then go to batch rename.
Oh, that's crazy. You learn something new every day.
Yeah. And then you'll find, let's say it was O2, right? On the end. And then you replace it with AT, and then it'll replace the.
I see.
Or you can just go here and then add a suffix, space AT, and then all of them will get AT at the end. I mean, it'll be double, but
I see.
Yeah. It's a cool little.
Honestly, I knew that was in there. I just,
haven't tried it yet.
You just become a creature of habit.
Yeah.
What's going on in this chat? Should I address anything in this chat before I just kind of keep going? Dale and Tom Coyne, yeah,
Chris Athens. I mean, you guys are naming like
all the goats,
all the best guys.
Yeah, they're all great.
They're all cool.
Dale's a really good friend of mine.
No, you guys work.
Yes.
Dale's hard. That's who TCO goes to a lot, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dale's a really good dude. Okay. So cool. This is our auto-tune playlist, but we don't want that guy. We want our other one.
So what's the reason you print the auto tune and then import it into the playlist?
Because we are human. And so, okay, I'm also just like, auto tune wasn't on there, but like, you know, in a normal, like in the tracking session or like the day of or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is what we're listening to as the demo. So I should probably have backups. It's essentially you're doing a save as on your playlist, right? So like, because we're human and we're going to go through and we're going to tune. And even though I would consider myself like at the top of the range in terms of like proficiency, you still make mistakes. Or like you might think that you're making something better by trying to tune it.
Yeah.
But it still does not sound as good as the auto-tune version. Or the raw version ends up just sounding better anyway.
Right.
And so what I like to do is go through all the things that I'm tuning. And once I'm kind of done tuning, I can listen back through everything. And if I hear like some artifact or if I hear something weird, I can go back in the playlist and like replace it.
I see.
And then it's like by comping then your tune, you're doing another layer of comping, and it's like a little ridiculous, but I don't know. It depends on how perfectionist you want to be.
Right.
It's just another layer.
I mean, might as well at that point. If you're gonna tune it.
I mean, I feel like if you're getting paid to do it,
yeah.
you should be able to go back and like, you know, really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So here we are in our Melodyne.
Back turn cold. We've been here before. What we doing outside? All the neighbors know.
All right, that's our auto-tune version, yeah?
And that's the tune is pretty strong, too.
I think that's like, there's like a verse of someone who's like not singing per se. But we just did that just to do it, really.
Back turn cold. We've been here before. What we doing outside? All the neighbors know.
And also, can I do one thing to potentially the beat?
Yeah, of course.
Is there like an all instrumental bus?
Yeah. So no drums? Wait, actually, I don't know if I made it. You just have to mute all the purple and red.
Show me. Basically, what I want to do is I want to put a filter on all the music.
All of it?
Yeah.
Or just the drums?
All of it.
Oh, okay. The whole beat?
Yeah. It's just how I kind of go. Yep. That's fine.
Okay.
Back turn cold.
Because I don't know. I feel like when you have the whole beat going while you're tuning, it's actually extremely distracting. Because you're like, okay, I'm so occupied in my ears with beat that I'm not hearing the like intricacies of the vocal.
And what are you looking for when you make your chops?
Okay, when I'm looking for my chops, you're looking for kind of like a differentiating pattern. Like okay, you can see here we're starting with the S or a F or something like that, and then we get kind of like a vibrato-y thing, and then we go into our scoop up, and then we land at a different note, vibrato out, and then we get another pull up. You know, like you can see it, but then it's really important to chop at the differentiating parts if I can. Yeah. Some of them, like they actually upgraded Melodyne a few years ago so that if like a consonant was happening, they would like basically turn the tune off. Like they can recognize it now, like this region or like this stuff over here. Like if it's an S or an F or a breath or something, they just like, they're able to
ignore it.
Yeah, ignore it, which is great. But then, yeah, you know, there's still like that, for example, is still like attached, even though it's like turned off. It's still kind of attached.
I see. Do you do clip gaining in Melodyne ever?
I will if I'm like getting ultra particular, but most of the time I'm doing it in Pro Tools before I'm really kind of like diving into Melodyne. There's good time stretch in Melodyne though.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Like the stretching algorithm for whatever reason tends to be really good.
Back turn cold. We've been here before.
See, I don't know if this.
Back turn cold. Back turn cold. We've been here before.
All these like pitch glide transition things. Useful. Sometimes you'll see him like wig out.
Back turn cold. We've been here before. What we doing outside?
Command click going.
It should be.
It's not gliding down, but that's okay.
It's one of the modifiers. It might be option or control. Option.
I see. So like, okay, this one.
Here before.
You can see that it's like before it shoots up there, you can split it here, so you kind of get a little. You can control kind of like each individual like inflection of what's going on in the voice, so you're not like grabbing big chunks and moving things.
Right.
Back turn cold. We've been here before.
If you have too many chops, it can get crazy too.
Yeah, and that's why you have to listen, obviously, and Command Z exists for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing as I'm going through stuff. It's so funny, like when you hit me, you're like, "Yeah, you're the Melodyne, you know what the fuck is going on." I'm like, "Yeah, but like." Changed so much over the years that like when I was doing this like all the time and I was super locked in, yeah, I was mastering it. But now they made it so much better, and so much software has just gotten great.
Back turn cold. We've been here before.
I like the filtering out aspect.
Yeah, I mean, also it depends how like on you want the stuff to be, because you could even like just put on click if you really wanted to, like, depending on how your track is. Sorry, I'm like flattening this. Not drifting super hard.
I can't.
Just to lock it on.
I'm like da.
I feel like I've rarely double click.
Yeah.
Also, your trackball is goofy. I can't really double click on the trackball.
Really?
Like I can, but it's not. You have like the seasoned trackball. You've been using this one. It doesn't have the hard click.
Oh yeah,
anymore.
it doesn't. You gotta.
Been here before. Neighbors know everything about you made me want.
Let's go back here.
Back turn cold. We've been here before. What we doing outside? All the neighbors know.
All the neighbors know, bro. Whoa. So like, okay, here's another chop that you could do. So the vibrato is uneven in her performance. Like this back half has a different, and that's why that jumped up like that. It just has a different pattern.
All the neighbors know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gets kind of like weird in there. So there's different ways that you can go about doing it. You can chop it up and try to like sync it, or you can flatten it out and then kind of like
Doing outside, all the neighbors know.
there we go.
All the neighbors know.
That's fun. All the neighbors.
All the neighbors know.
Talk about how neighbors know.
How like this is a breakup song where they're fighting so often that like what are we doing outside? Like all the neighbors know that we just constantly fighting. It's not like the neighbors know my name, okay?
Hey, I don't know, man. Okay.
Back turn cold. We've been here before. What we we're doing outside. All the neighbors know everything about.
Sounding good.
Yeah.
Next.
This is one of those songs, bro. I was in Korea. I took my Mac Mini rig, right? And this shit just fucking crapped out the day before the session. Like, have you ever had this? Chad, I wonder, like, if
I'm gonna
anyone
get another thing of water real quick.
Yeah. Has anyone ever had this crazy feedback loop where, I started my computer, the Apple logo will come out, the chime will go boom, and then it'll just shut off. And then Apple logo will come on again, boom, and then shut off. And it'll literally do that shit for hours if I left it on. And then I have to turn it off. And then I couldn't boot it into recovery mode. I couldn't boot it into safe mode. I couldn't use it as target disk mode. So I was like, ooh, what is that? I couldn't even not M1. It was the Intel. And I couldn't even boot off of a flash drive, so I was going to think about relaying down or reinstalling the OS, but it wouldn't even let me do that. So man, I'll wait till we get back in to finish telling the story, but I was assed out, bro. It sucked.
Yeah, I think about Melodyne and what the software really was like 5 years ago, and it's gotten so much better. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
It used to have like all these like, well, now it's integrated in Pro Tools, which is what we're doing right now just for the sake of this, because it keeps just our speed a little bit faster right now. Typically I'm going in standalone, but like Melodyne 3, like the standalone was like a 15-year software version, I swear to God, or like a 10-year software version. They just never updated. They just like gave up on it. So like
it was good though.
It was good, but it was also
for a long time
bad.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when you would try to look at the screen, there'd be all these like visual glitches because they would never update the software, and it was just like, oh, this is awful. How do I get through this? But like it still had the same controls and stuff like that. So
is this same as Wavestune? I think there is a graphic mode in Wavestune, but to me it's not the same because you don't have as much control on Wavestune. Oh, and I was trying to finish telling the story. My computer cracked out the day before the session. It was stuck in an eternal reboot loop, restart loop.
Yes.
I couldn't do recovery mode, boot mode.
Nothing.
I couldn't boot it off a drive. I couldn't do anything. It was just fucked. So luckily, I have like remote PC software on this computer.
So you were like on your phone and like logged in and did
so
all this shit.
I logged on and then printed stems from my phone and then had it emailed to me, and then I went into the session and then I had the homie record it on Logic.
Oh my God.
Right? But then the thing is, like, he's on Logic and we had to get out of there as soon as we were done recording this shit. So nothing's labeled and I just have fucking hella takes.
Yes.
And I don't know what's what.
Nice.
So yesterday I came in and I just pulled all of them through and I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna make a rough comp just so we can use it today.
Well, here we are.
But man, it was
all right.
Know everything about you made me wanna say I love you, but everybody know.
Who's the singer? I feel like you should give her some props. Right
the singer's Moon Sujin. She's kind of cracking right now in Korea. She's one of the more pop R&B singers, because like R&B is not huge in Korea,
right?
But she's like doing her thing out there. And the song, it's kind of like low on her range. She's
everything about you made me wanna say
as good as possible.
Everything about you made me wanna say I love you.
That's some R&B melody, right?
Everything about you made me wanna say I love you.
So yeah, I'm just grabbing these like these little parts of the vocal changes. I'm just tighten them up. You don't have to go 100% on everything that you try and tighten.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can grab the things that like change and you're able to like hone them in and bring them back to where they're supposed to be, as opposed to just looking at it like, okay, I just got to put the blobs where they got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're just kind of approaching it a different way where it's like you're fixing the stuff that's moving or like it's going in the wrong direction as opposed to taking everything and just making it on. If that makes sense.
But you need the inflections to keep like the soul of the the performance.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you just grab the whole blob and you just like
Flatten them.
smush it, then you lose the inflection.
Yeah, you got the beep bop beep bops.
Yeah, they're just like melted into everything.
Know everything about you made me wanna say I love you. But everybody around me, they keep telling me you're trouble. Don't you know everything about you made me wanna say I love you. But everybody around me, they keep telling me you're trouble. Don't choose what I'm going through, why you always move like that. Let's not abuse. Know everything about you made me wanna say I love you. But know everything about you made me wanna say I love you. But
This might be interesting. Let's see here.
That out a little bit.
A little, but it's actually this note right here that I'm about to come back to. It's sorry.
Love you. Know everything about you made me wanna say I love you. But
So right here to like here, her formant on her voice while she's performing, she's singing, it's kind of like weird. So what we can do is potentially bump her.
Say I love you. Make me wanna say I love you. Know everything about you made me wanna say I love you. But
That's an advanced move right there. I won't
Damn.
lie. That's advanced identification, but it does make a difference.
The thing about Melodyne is like no matter how much technique you know, if you don't have the ear for
Yeah, you have to do it a billion times. It's just like mixing. It's just like recording. Like you just have to know what you're doing so you can identify the shit. And it's really hard to be good at tuning if you're not really good at like cutting an artist and you don't understand
the vocal
what
production.
what good vocals actually sound like.
Right.
Like when you listen to a Celine Dion song versus whatever social media star is putting out a record tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like if you can't identify what about their singing makes it great, besides like the power and the range, like
or tone,
like there's so many things that are like, it's like detail and it's like, they could be singing and then they just like do this, and so it makes it sound weird when they recorded it. And if it's in the comp, then you're like working with that. You know? There's like so many intricacies and so many things that like you're bound to just run into trouble. So that was just the way that she sang it. There was like that formatting in her voice.
They're asking what was the bar lines, the formant, right?
Yeah, so that's the formant tool in Melodyne. So essentially what you're doing is you're changing kind of like throat length, I guess, is the way to think about it.
Hey, Sam. Shout out to Sam subscribing. iCats.
Wait, what?
Thanks for the sub.
Oh, I see him. At tier 1. Okay.
Yeah, that's the homie Sam.
Oh, did you produce this, David?
Yeah, I did.
There you go.
Oh, the background behind that? There's this Russian chick. Her name's Aileen. She, I think she's Russian, but she lives in Bali or something. But she's a crazy pianist.
Okay.
And like she had this pack. And that was like $20 royalty free.
Sick.
Yeah, so I went in there and copped that, and
working on this.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm using that loop.
Shout out
Aileen.
Aileen.
Yeah.
made me wanna say I love you.
Yeah, that
A lot
sounded
better.
good for me. Okay, cool. So that's kind of what I'm doing as I'm moving through each thing here. We're just gonna kind of identify our issues. I'm gonna mute this one while it's going back and forth.
But everybody around me, they keep telling me you're trouble.
Yeah, so kind of first thing I'm doing is I'm identifying where things are happening differently.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna snip things up a little bit.
Dude, you know what was the biggest challenge with this song? Me not actually recording it because I'm not fast on Logic, and sitting next, like being the vocal producer instead of the engineer.
And seeing someone
Like,
else do it. And
Yeah,
you're like, oh
and
my
I'm
God.
like,
Faster. Faster.
that was what I was saying because I cut super
Come on.
fast.
Hurry up.
So I'm like, yo,
Let's see.
But everybody around me.
So that note she kind of burns the
mhm.
or burns. I don't even know if that's the right word, but it's kind of like gone. And that's
But everybody around
no, that's fine. That's kind of like some intimacy, softness in the voice.
But everybody around me, they keep telling But everybody around me, they keep telling me you're trouble. But everybody around me, they keep telling me you're trouble. But everybody around me, they keep telling me you're trouble. But everybody around me, they keep telling me you're trouble. Don't you just what I'm going through? Why you always move? But everybody around me, they keep telling me you're trouble. Don't you just what I'm going through? Why you But everybody around me, they keep telling me you're trouble. Don't you just what I'm going through? Why you always move like that? Let's not abuse my point of view when I know you come right back. So let me run through all the things I showed you. In my
It doesn't want to let me grab this.
You gotta zoom. That's the worst. That pitch bend shit.
I don't give a fuck.
But everybody around me, they keep telling me you're trouble. Don't you just what I'm going through? Why you always move like that? Let's not abuse my point of view when I know you come right. But everybody around me, they keep telling me you're trouble.
Come on.
Question: whenever I get hired to Melodyne, it's because they don't like the autotune sound. How common is it to commit the autotune and then Melodyne that?
No.
Yeah.
You have to do it before. So something that you can do is a trick for that where like let's say for example you're doing like melodic rap and it's close. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when you go in and like somebody's doing like melodic rap like Future style stuff where like or like Lil Baby where it's like on like autotune is on and it's working and it's doing a thing, but they're not necessarily hitting the correct notes, and you want to change some stuff, put in the Melodyne plugin before autotune and just work out of there, because you can't do it in the standalone, and it's not worth Melodyning the entire thing and then just fix what's wrong. Like go into autotune, you know? So then you're like kind of guiding the vocal of how you want it to hit autotune, which is nice.
But everybody around me, they keep telling me.
Also, if you don't like the autotune sound, it would be bad to commit the and try to fix it, because the sound of the autotune's still gonna be baked in there.
Yeah, so they're like, we don't like this, and then you're like, okay, cool. Well, how about
if I bake it and then correct it?
This plus more. They're gonna be like, no, we didn't even want this to begin with. Chris Brown doesn't use no Melodyne. I don't think that he does, because I believe Tizio tracks with autotune as a record print.
Yeah, he gets to take till it's perfect through autotune.
Yeah, because Chris is like, he's ultra fast in the booth, but that's his thing, is he thinks that like when he gets it, it's like he's hearing it in his headphones and he's saying it, and he sang into the autotune correctly. So he was like you get that when you're recording, you kind of like know how to get your voice to hit the autotune.
Yeah, with Chris, like he can hear it instantly. Oh, that's right. Pff, let's go.
Okay, keep that next. You know.
So with this song's auto-tune was committed. Oh, he committed it and then put it in a playlist just to have as a backup.
Sorry to confuse you, Andrew. Yeah, we just used it in a playlist just because I was just showing that as like this is how I do things. Like I'll do like a committed auto-tune in the playlist in case somebody, which happens, people like they'll listen to the tune version that you send and then they'll be like, oh, you know, like I really like everything except like this one line that I liked better from the demo. Is there any way that we can go back to how that was? And then you're like, oh yeah, watch this. Grab it from the playlist.
Comp it.
It still is running through all your plugs and stuff. Like you didn't have to like go back to a different version and like, oh, it was like mixed all different. Like, nah, you're not doing all that. Just grab it from a playlist.
Yeah. So this right here, it was raw. No auto tune.
Yeah. The auto tune playlist is
AT
in there. In case we need it.
But everybody around me, they keep telling me you're trouble. Let's not abuse my point of view. Let's not
Brado's in the building.
Let's not abuse my point of view when you know.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
It's part of this performance.
This is Melodyne Essential.
Let's not abuse my point of view when you know you come right back.
I haven't had Melodyne Studio since 3.
Yeah. Understandable. I mean, you're doing mostly rap stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like,
My melodining has gotten worse because I was doing, when I was here as a recorder, I was doing way more melodining.
yeah, of course. Makes
When I
sense.
got into, like, I'm barely doing it.
But I live in like pop R&B world, and it's
Mhm.
like every song
Essential,
you have to
yeah.
do this, you know. Especially pop stuff. Like I think next week I have like a 5-person girl group,
Oh shit.
and so it's like, well, here we go.
Oh my god.
You know, let's get into this.
Have you done any K-pop yet?
I have, but not from the vocal production standpoint or
Oh, okay.
production standpoint. It's only been on the mixing side.
Oh, okay.
But it's always been fun. I actually like it. I wish I was doing more of it and more of it at a higher level.
Right.
I actually like a lot of K-pop and J-pop stuff. I think it's dope.
That's cool.
Let's not abuse my point of view when you know you come right back.
Once you get the cuts right and you kind of know where things are about to go, it doesn't really
Need a lot.
you don't really have to make sure everything is on. It's just like light guiding. You know, we're making sure stuff doesn't kind of run flat. Maybe this one is gonna a little bit on the form.
Let's not abuse my point of view when you know you come right back. So let me run through all the things I showed you. Let's not abuse my point of view when you know you come right back. So let me run.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. It's so interesting watching because it's like you're using the same tools, but in a completely different way.
It's
I'm
just how
like,
it goes.
Oh, this is amazing to watch.
Because-
I'm learning a lot.
That's good.
Get my head down, ride or die, but you played yourself, that's facts. Get my head down, ride it.
Hair down.
Got my head down.
You know, we'll just cut our wrong
Right.
or cut our things that really
Don't need to be.
don't need to be. We'll fix those, and the rest we can kind of like do left things on. And that's kind of how I move, I guess.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
Very streamlined. It's like a very comfortable workflow.
Get my head down, ride or die, but you played yourself, that's facts.
Played yourself, that's facts.
Yeah. But you play.
Kim.
The song's called That's Facts,
I see.
right? And it's about 2 people that are arguing, and from my perspective, what I
see.
right. So it's like that's facts. What you've been through. That's that. My that's facts. And I wrote that. I helped write the hook.
Nice. Dig.
Cause it's like, what do you think about in a real argument, right? Because you have like little fights with your significant other, and then you have the big fights where you're like, I need to be heard. I need to be understood. It doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. You know what I mean?
I have to be right.
Yeah.
Get my head down, ride it like, but you played yourself, that's facts.
Close. We're getting close. We're just fixing our wrong things. This is kind of interesting. When Melodyne does this, like you'll have a blob that's like the underside is like revealed and the pitch ends up hanging on the top. But as you can see, like our pitch goes down and then it starts like rising back up again. So that's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna
mend it.
You know, just
get my head down, ride it like, but you played. Get my head down. Get my head down, ride it. Get my head down, ride it like, but you played yourself, that's facts. That's facts. Get my head down, ride it like, but you played yourself, that's facts. That's facts. From the point of, get my head down, ride it like, but you played yourself.
Based on.
Are the cuts you're making based on, are the cuts that you're making based off of the pitch drift line? Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes, but also, I'm looking at the blobs too. So I'll go to the next line. This one's pretty good for now. Let's go down to our next track. I'm gonna mute this one in between. I'll go through just what I'm seeing on this one.
Don't choose what I'm going through, why you always move like that.
So what I see in the blobs, like the blobs are, you know, they go north-south, right? In terms of like they go up and down. That's their pitch. So whatever is in the blob is what you're controlling as a whole. So like think about like when you click on this, you're taking all of this information in the pitch drift line, you're taking all of that and you're going to move it north and south. Mm-hmm. So if you're like, yo, I'm about to move all of that, cool. But in this case, you can see, all right, we start down here at like a G, and then our next note is going to be C flat, and then we're going to a D flat. So do I really want to move like one note here, two notes, or this is our second note here, and then this is like our finish, and like the finish kind of like falls off and like it runs into a consonant. So it's like the finish could be cleaner, and you don't want to move all this because this looks like it's about right, you know, like goes through right through the middle of here, and then this one's almost in the middle of here. So if you start cutting things, the blob moves because it's like, okay, here's where the center of your line is. After I've been detached from everything, here's where your kind of center is really looking like. And so you can see with this blob, like if the line was going perfectly diagonal through the center, it would go like a little bit more, but it's not. It's like slightly. And so you don't have to double click it and lock it to the grid. You can just make it so that like the center of the blob is more centered on the note on north south. So it doesn't have to be double clicked. You can just like move it. And obviously we're going to have to listen to it here to make sure that's on. I don't know if that makes sense.
Don't choose what I'm going through, why you always move like that.
Made sense to me.
Don't choose what I'm going through, why you always.
Yeah, I don't know. I just approach it a little. I'm not really I'm not like, okay, everything has to be like on. I'm kind of like everything has to be guided.
Don't choose what I'm going through, why you always move like that.
You have a more natural approach to
I think so.
Melodyne.
I mean, you know, you can do it different ways, but
yeah, I like seeing the perspective and hearing you like through it.
Cuz some of the shit's on, you know. Some of the shit is on. Like this, you can tell just by I separated, like the pitch is like centered up here because it's real flat in the beginning. And like this whole movement is like going up and then all of a sudden it drops back down again. So you can separate it once it stops going up, and you can also stop it like at the beginning. You know what I mean? Like you can like guide the Melodyne to work.
This guy, surplus to be a Grammy-winning engineer without ever touching Melodyne in my life.
Dude, real thing. But I came into the world, I didn't even know what Melodyne was before I got started, and then once I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, this is how it works. You know, like
Yeah.
this is how you. Oh, this is what they do. You know.
Don't choose what I'm going through. Why you always move like that? Let's not abuse my point of view.
I'm jumping. Different
So
words
you're
and
are you
phrases.
watching the lines more than like the blobs?
Go.
I'm watching like both.
Mm.
What I'm.
Like even that, like there's like 3 patterns here. We got a descending line, we got an ascending line, and then we have another fall off. So you can really split it in 3
What?
pieces here. That one's a little off, but you
What?
like, yeah. Or you know what I mean? You kind of have to get it.
What? What?
Whatever, that's good enough. Like you just kind of try changing in pattern, and then when you're kind of getting them there, you can kind of okay, cool. Let's smooth just certain things out, and then when you blend them all together.
Don't choose what I'm going through. Why you always move like that?
Butter.
Yeah. This one kind of tricky. You know, it's sharp down and then it goes up. So like everything kind of is going.
What would you do? Flatten that a little bit.
So you have drift. This drift tool, basically that takes something that's going like this and you try to make it like that, or it takes something like this and it tries to make it like that. You don't necessarily always have to do it's not even vibrato. That was just okay. Got that one flattened as much as we kind of could.
Tuck it in there nice.
Might be
I'm going through. Why you always move like. Don't choose what I'm going through. Why you always move like that?
a little vibrato or a little, sorry, what's it called? Formant touch at the end. If you hear a little
that was
artifact.
nice. Yeah.
Don't choose what I'm going through. Why you always move like that? Let's not abuse my.
Yeah. I see it now. Vocals are naturally all over the place, and that's the beauty of it. Yeah, exactly. So like, you know, people are going to be singing and there's all this like inflection and stuff, and you don't necessarily want to like murk it. You don't want to like remove it, but there's ways that you can guide it to like flow into like the next thing. You know?
So let me.
When do you find yourself using the amplitude tool? That's like if you're not clip gaining
Yeah.
in Pro Tools.
Yeah, that's, you know, if you're not clip gaining. Really amplitude, yeah, I don't know. I'm not ever there. But I do use timing. I will use the time tool
And shift.
and like, for example, if there's like you can't see it in here, but in the standalone version, if you have like a lot of stacks. So for example, I think it's on this first line right here. Or is it this one?
Don't choose what.
Where it's like sweeping from one note to go up to the next. What you can do is you can visually look at the stacks in the standalone version, and they will layer the note values on top of each other. So you can like the ones in the stacks, you'll have them like in gray, and then the one that you're working on is like in orange like this. And what you can make sure that you're doing is getting your pitch glide to match. And so everything will sound like really tight and really locked in. But the way that you can do that is by, you know, shifting this so that you can move that diagonal line
to match the last other ones.
Yeah, so the stacks and everything, so it'll all kind of match, and then it's like, oh wow, it's very tight now.
Do you use Revoice? Have you used Revoice?
I don't. Honestly, I gave up on a lot of that stuff. Like it's fine if you're like machining and you're like doing a writing session and you're just like, all right, we just need to let's crank this song out today. Let's just like get it done, and you're just like you need to get it done. But it never nets a better result than doing things by hand. I'm sorry.
That's true. But the new Revoice, it has a lot of like specific parameters. Like
yeah, I'd love
it's
to like
locked in.
I feel like I would love to see somebody
Bro.
who was really good at it.
I want to
You know?
connect. I want to connect you with them because they did like a little demo for me. I still need like another demo, like a follow up demo, because like it's
let me get this
lot-
one more time.
It is a lot. It's just a lot of shit going on. But you can kind of see like what's possible with it and how you can use it. I'm gonna connect you with them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I mostly because I have pride in like what I'm doing, so I feel like I have to like have control over what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
I'm like, if I can get in here and I can, that's kind of the beauty of Pro Tools. You can like zoom all the way in and see every little thing. You can move it exact. So I feel like there's a part of me that's like, I have to go like manual labor mode, at least on the lead vocal, and make it like perfect.
Facts.
And that's kind of what I've been paid to do throughout my career, is like
Yeah.
make sure that things are really tight around that.
How
But
about Vocal Line? Do you ever use Vocal Line?
I have, but it always ends up yielding a better result to just do it by hand.
Ah, okay.
Like you can do it, but it's almost like, I don't know. It's like, for what? Like, you know that you can do it quick and it's like going to be okay. So it's like unnoticeable. Like, you know, the average person like wouldn't notice. But then it's like, you know that you can go in there and you can do it.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you?
Facts.
It's some
Time
David Goggins shit, dude.
Time constraints.
Yeah, but there's, you know, sometimes it's not about time. Sometimes it's about getting shit that's fucking dope.
Yeah.
And if you can, it's not like it's like, oh man, this is going to take me a month.
No, it's going extra minute.
Right.
Extra couple minutes.
Yeah, like sit in there and fucking do it. It's
Yeah.
like the same mentality when you're in the gym and you're like, whew, I got one more set, but I'm fucking beat.
Yeah.
It's like, sit the fuck down and do
Yeah,
that
yeah,
extra set right now.
Do it.
Yeah.
Even if you need an extra breather or whatever.
Yeah, and check your work. And if
Yeah.
you fuck up, fix it in the playlist or whatever. You know?
I guess that's the difference between like
That's what separates the boys from the men.
a good song and like a great song. Because sometimes if you like look at it surface level, it's like, oh, these all have the same elements, you know, but one of them has like the surgical details.
For
and
sure.
It has like that one thing that might separate it from the next song. And it's like,
Celine Dion is not, she never put out some shit that was, oh, we vocalize that.
no,
you
fact,
know?
fact.
Come on, bro. What? Hell no.
Dennis is old school, man. He's like lumberjack.
I don't even know about old school, but I just feel, I mean, it's the same thing with mixes too.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, oh yeah, there's always that track where there's no plugins on it and like it showed up okay and I'm fine with that. But it doesn't mean that you didn't listen to it. It didn't mean that you didn't put it in the mix.
Facts.
You didn't like,
Yeah.
you didn't acknowledge it. You didn't like spend the time on it. You might not have had to do anything to it, but you still like made it a part of your thing. So it's like the
that
details.
0.5 that you bumped up, that can make the whole song different.
Yeah. It's a total thing.
Understood. Totally.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel very impassioned about great vocals sometimes. But at the same time, it's like, who the fuck cares, dude? Crank That Soulja Boy was an amazing song.
I bet that's why I think like having you here is great, because like I'm not someone that pays as much attention to vocals,
Sure.
right? Sometimes I just like,
I mean, maybe
I
in,
get frustrated and I'm just like, let it live.
Well,
whatever.
maybe in your own way,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like there's song. I mean, dude, like you don't earn Grammys and you don't earn accolades by not paying attention to something.
Yeah.
Your choices to not do something was still a choice.
That's facts. That's true. Yeah, but it's cool having like the different perspectives in here, you know, because like I don't know if this happens to you, but the more and more I work alone, I get to thinking one way.
Yeah, the
right?
same
very,
shit.
Very tunnel visioned, and then the longer you stay in that tunnel, the harder it is to look at light.
Yep. For sure, because you're like, oh well, I know how to do that my way. Why would I like?
Why would I change it? But like, bro, the world is changing, and there's so many things that are like helping us do things at a high quality too, right?
For sure.
That's why I want to introduce you to the Revoice guys, just so you can try it and see.
Catch Revoice at NAMM 2024 Los Angeles.
Because I don't even use Revoice that much, but I don't have the same applications as you might.
Sure.
Right. I don't deal with mad stacks and a lot of harmonic material, but
also I'm very blessed right now. I have a couple friends that are really good at this stuff too, and one of them is like a dialogue dude that works on a on a soap opera, so he's always put me on some new like vocal AI or
Bro.
like something. Like he's on like he knows more about Isotope RX and how to fix. Like there was one thing I got from Morgan Wallen that was like so distorted and so bad. It hasn't come out, but like it was literally like the mic was clipping the whole time, and he was able to go into RX. Like I was on FaceTime with him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's easy." And I was like, "Bro, what? This sounds like it's going through a cheese grater. This is bad." And then he's like, "Oh no, watch this. Go through RX, bro. The song is fixed. Like it is perfect."
Bro, we need to get him. We need to get him on.
He's
this.
crazy. He might be watching. I don't know if Alex is still in here, but he said he was gonna watch for a little bit. So
we need to get him on here, bro. Cause like sometimes I'll pop open RX and I'll get lucky. Like I'll do some shit I've never done before on the spectral. You know how you can go vertical, and I'll grab something and then oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did it. But then the next time I have to do it, I'll try the same shit and it won't work. And
I know,
fuck.
dude. How? It's so finicky. It's just like Melodyne. It's just a whole nother different Melodyne.
Dennis, how do you stay organized with tasks and deadlines?
Oh man, I have changed so many different apps over the course of my professional career in terms of organizational calendar, different apps. I'm a fucking I'm an organizational freak. But what I'm on right now is Notion. I don't know if you guys have ever used Notion, but I have Notion completely figured out. I'm dialed in, man. It's great.
Notion. I'm definitely gonna have to try that because I'm always trying.
The reminders app is dude. Bro,
it's not
the notepad? Hell no. Bro, Notion.
I'm with Andy. The notepad is what I be on, bro.
Oh, dude, my Notion breakdown is crazy. I mean, for album tracking and like keeping, like if you're like mixing an album or if you're like just working on an album and you're like, you know the method of like the whiteboard where you have like the categories and you're like crossing out the stuff? Dude, this is the far superior whiteboard. You can do calendars, you can sync, you can like store all like content and photos and stuff. You can do bro, I have so much stuff interconnected in Notion. It's amazing. It's a great app. So check out Notion if you haven't. It's expensive, but it's good.
I'm getting on that. That sounds like something I need in my life.
That's a good one. Well, I guess we're running up to 2 hours here, so
yeah, got like 5 minutes left, so we can just talk it out. But I think I appreciate you having you here. I know that this room is where
I learned a lot of this shit.
A lot of this
hilariously.
Shit. But obviously it wasn't me. It was Jens in here.
Yes, I was learning from
Andrew.
Yeah, and E-Man. I was learning from a lot of them. Yeah. At least on this Melodyne stuff, which was like, they were making the music and then they would pass to Jens to be like, all right,
fix.
You got this, right? Yeah. And then it was like, fuck. Here we are, Melodyne all day.
He's the one that was doing the long hours, and he was first one in, last one out, always.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jens, man.
This stuff takes time, when you got to be detail oriented and you're working at a high level, it does take time.
100%. How do you know when to use a pitch drift tool versus modulation tool?
Very easily. Pitch drift, like I said, is if you see a pattern that's like descending or ascending in Melodyne. Here, let's open up just another vocal that I haven't tuned, maybe. Can we do this one?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, we totally can.
Yeah, totally can. Turn that tune on.
See, like, we got to find an instance where I would definitely use it. Okay. Right there. Maybe. This one's actually 2 different notes. I wouldn't even use it there.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like you use pitch drift less, but it's a better tool to use. So, okay, you could use it here slightly. Like, if you're like, okay, put this on, but, your modulation is just... So then maybe you want to just change how it's deep. And you want to, like, bring up that... Bring so it's not going down. and it's just going straight.
When
The pitch moving, instead of it going down,
Mm-hmm.
now it's going across. Yeah. Or, now the
diagonal.
there's still more modulation in here. Like, there's this vibrato pattern in here.
Yeah.
But that's what your modulation is for. The drift is for the direction that the pitch is going.
Boom. That's some knowledge, bro. I use the ultimate brain template.
That sounds tight.
On Notion or reminders. Do you have any reference songs? Do you use reference songs or do you use the demo to reference?
Oh, and mixing.
Yeah, when you mix.
I'm always listening to the rough
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like I know when you're listening to other records to compare, it's kind of hard because contextually it's not always in the sonic information to be the same.
Yeah, 100%.
But songs that I reference and that I think are masterpieces are definitely a thing. But I don't know if I reference
While mixing.
yeah. While mixing. I mean, honestly, if you listen to all the new Skrillex album, that's the only sonic reference you'll ever need for the rest of your life. It's insane. It's so good.
Yeah, I do the same. I feel like when you're starting off mixing, referencing is definitely a strong tool because you want to get it in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
But I feel like for us, we know what we want it to sound like,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just going straight for that. And we use the demo to be like, okay, as our guide, we can't stray too far from this, and it has to be better than this, obviously, at the end of the day.
Yeah. Have any more unconventional Melodyne tips, like the filtering of the beat and the auto-tune committing in a playlist? Nah, those are my biggest hacks for sure.
Those are good, bro.
Mostly just, I feel like the filtering of the track is important because there's only so much information that you can hear.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you can either filter the beat or I have another friend who just straight up mutes it and works with the click.
Wow.
But like that takes a little bit more like musical knowledge about like what the notes need to be or what the pitches need to be. I find that a little challenging because
like,
I'll make more mistakes that way personally. But that's a high level one. I think you just need to like it's just important to like focus on what you're working on and like just try to slim down your chances of making mistakes.
Yeah.
That's some of the greatest mixed songs in my opinion. Anything by Skrillex, his new stuff. And I mean there's probably more, but
yeah, Skrillex's shit is insane, bro. I don't understand. And he mixes everything.
Yeah, I've been a huge Skrillex fan my entire life.
Yeah.
So I got to see him at Coachella last year and it was extremely loud. It's like, when we work in music, so we're trying not to listen to stuff loud. I was like, dude, I don't really care. Like, I need to get my face absolutely blown off. Like, just fucking destroy me with this. It's the best sounding shit,
Yeah.
Skrillex goes absolutely crazy.
I love Skrillex too. And as a person, he's just so chill.
I've never met him. It's one of the number one. Like, God, I wish I worked with this dude at some point.
Yeah, I mean, he's very open to like collaborations and.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of other really cool people in electronic world, but I think that he's by far the best understanding of sonics, what it means to push the envelope, what it means to do different shit. His grasp on everything is just so much better than everybody else's.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
And he's so versatile too.
Dude, come on! Like he doesn't get enough credit, or at least in my opinion. But then again, I'm like a super fan.
If they have an EDM Hall of Fame, he's going down as the first.
He is the Hall of Fame.
I mean, you're gonna have
the Skrillex EDM.
You'll have Daft Punk in there. You'll have maybe like Tiesto or like.
Bro, if you listen to a Daft Punk song compared to a Skrillex song, I'm sorry. I
love how Something About Us sounds, but it's not like particularly mixed well.
Yeah.
But the feeling is just.
It's hard.
Fucking there, bro. Skrillex is like, you listen to this shit, you can close your eyes and see lasers.
Bro.
You can see where every single sound is coming from.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of other music that I like, but in terms of sonically surprising and like really good, I don't know if I have a lot of, big favorites. I think Usher Confessions album was definitely up there.
Amazing. Vocals are perfect.
Yeah, I mean that album is like a sonic masterpiece. Or
it's hard to bring them up, huh?
I mean the Bruno Mars 24 Karat.
Oh God.
That's all like most dialed.
Mm-hmm.
But it, every year like it's art, so we can all appreciate stuff that's different at the same time. Like my idea of what I love is like kind of different and fucked up from like this is pristine and great.
Mm-hmm.
It's like but I also like stuff that sounds like really bad.
Yeah. Sometimes I
Crank
like
That Soulja Boy exists for a reason.
Sometimes I like the -4 loves to just fucking blow your face off.
Yeah, exactly.
And then sometimes I like the fucking super, like Sabrina Claudio.
Clean.
Bruh.
Josh Goodwin. He's done some mixes for her, by the way.
Man.
I thought he was going to stop by today. I really did.
That would have been cool.
Because he was texting me like, I said party at Chalice, and he was like, or I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but he was like, all right, cool, I'll be there.
Oh.
But
that'd be nice. I got to get him on here.
Yes.
I mean, he's right up the street.
He's up the street.
Yeah,
He would.
Defo. Well, shit, it's been real, man. Hey, thank you, bro. This is full circle.
Yes.
Right? We dreamt of having people like this.
For sure. Sure.
I'm glad that we can do this. And that was really, really fucking dope. I learned a lot. I'm sure they learned a lot.
I hope somebody did. Somebody apply something and make some money.
Bro, people are opening their shit right now. I guarantee you. I promise you at least 10 people have Melodyne open right now.
I hope, bro. Yeah. I hope so. If anybody, has any questions, feel free to DM me. Feel free to hit me up, whatever. Like, I'm very responsive. I bought Melodyne.
Yeah, and follow Denis on socials.
Hit me. I'm pretty responsive. I don't know if I'm going to respond to a beat folder or something like that, but, just genuine connection or questions, I'll respond.
Yeah, don't be spamming him, dude. Don't be spamming him.
Can you send beats for Lil Durk?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. What am I going to... I don't even know Lil Durk.
Can you give this to Khalid?
No. I can't give anybody beats. It's not my job.
Yeah. Shit. All right. Well, thank y'all for popping in. I'll see you guys on Friday.
For real.
Man, anytime, bro. I'm gonna have you back. Because I feel like this could have gone like 5 hours if we really wanted it to. And then maybe next time
we could do a round table or something with a couple other dudes.
Let's do that. I'll set up something here.
That'd be cool. Motherfuckers.
Yeah, no doubt. And then, maybe we'll get like A or B, and then get like the Avengers in there.
Yeah. I'm down.
Everyone from the Vegas Grammy.
Oh my God. Let's before we go off. So it's like it was wild. So we were at the Grammys in Vegas when they had it after COVID, and I'm at dinner with Castelli and Tizio and Goodwin, and we all had our girls with us, and we're all just like sitting there. I don't know why, but I was just like so dumbfounded when like a fucking plate of just Patron shots shows up. It's like 30 Patron shots on a plate. And we're all looking, Casamigos, we're all looking at each other like, who the fuck ordered this? Like, did you really just charge this to our fucking tab? Who the fuck bought this shit? And then Josh was like, no, that came from David over there. And then I look across the room and David's like, yeah.
But you know why? But Josh ordered us.
I figured he was.
And so I was like, shit. Okay, now we gotta order them shots.
Yeah, exactly.
And then some people didn't drink, so I remember you had to drink.
I drank like 4 of them, bro. I got lost in the casino that night. We left there. And we took a limo because we were, there's like 10 of us, whatever. Took a limo, smoked Tizio, of course, poisoning us with nuclear-powered weed.
So now you're drunk and high.
Not just high, but like unnecessarily high.
Yeah.
And lost in the casino. We walked into the Wynn, and I just got lost immediately.
I need a Max Lean.
Dude, I was gone, man. Thank you, Tizio and Josh, for that experience.
No, that was a good experience. Vegas was lit. They should have the Grammys at Vegas every year.
I agree.
Yeah,
because I like Vegas. I think it's fun. It's a reason to actually like go to the Grammys and like have fun. As opposed to when it's here, it's like everybody's busy.
Yeah. I'm not going.
I'm not going this year either. I don't have anything. Yeah. I'm not that cool. not that guy this year.
I do, but I'm rooting for the other homies. Like
There you go.
a lot of
Todd's up this year.
yeah, Todd's up with Jaguar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Crazy.
Tizio's on that.
Yeah.
Tizio got a gang of shit. He better fucking win.
It's just crazy.
Like he deserves one of these for
Yeah,
sure.
he's had a couple of years coming, so I think
Yeah.
he's destined.
Hell yeah. All right, y'all. Well, I'll see y'all on Friday. Thank you, Dan, again.
It was leet.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.